I call the honourable member, Grant Robertson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Between massages and golf games in Hawaii, John Key, our Prime Minister currently, watched a couple of movies. The first of those was a chance to check out his biopic, The Wolf of Wall Street. Having seen that and decided it wasn't a fair portrayal, he went on to see a movie that I watched over the summer called Now You See Me. Now, this is a movie about a magic trick group, and what the essence of the movie is the essence of magic, which is diversion. Distract the audience with one part of your trick, while with the other hand set up the illusion. Welcome to the National Party's election year strategy. Divert, divert and distract. Faced with the Labor Party's popular Best Start policy, which David Farrar has told them is polling through the roof, John Key has conjured up the most pressing question of our time. Should we have a new flag? As my colleague David Parker calls it, a flag of convenience. No need to worry about the 157,000 unemployed. No need to worry about the 260,000 kids in poverty. No need to worry about growing inequality. No need to worry about the huge number of people needing elective surgery. Look here, we've got a new flag to show you. Well, today, Mr. Speaker, I can exclusively reveal 4 of the designs that the National Party is considering for our new flag. The first of them has been proposed by John Key.
Oh, wow.
However, it has been rejected because there are only 4 John Keys and he wants 6. So we moved to the second flag design. This one came up with by Tony Ryle, worked hard on by the rest of the National Cabinet and agreed by John Key himself. New Zealand for sale. This is a popular one among the National Caucus. They've gone a long way down this path and intend to go further. But this government doesn't stop when it just comes to selling things. It wants to do deals. It wants to do entrepreneurial deals, and it believes there's money to be made in the third flag design. Brought to you by Sky City, complete with poker chips. But John Key will go anywhere to get back into government, and he's offered the 4th design to his likely coalition partner, Colin Craig.
Oh, yes.
And this one will go a long way. Colin Craig's design for the new New Zealand flag. Popular among many, we think, in the Upper Harbour area. So, Mr. Speaker, that is what the National Party is offering, a distraction, a diversion on flag designs. Well, I say this to John Key. You can't pay your higher mortgage with a flag. You can't put food on the table for young kids with a flag. You can't improve access to early childhood education with a flag. You don't create new jobs with a flag. And let's be clear, this is a Prime Minister who wouldn't hold a referendum on asset sales alongside of an election. This is a Prime Minister who wouldn't put to the country the report of an independent group on changing our electoral system as a referendum and an election, but he'll put up a flag question. This is a flag of convenience, and isn't it ironic? The great monarchist himself, John Key, is the one trying to change the flag. Division...
Did he tell Betty about this?
Division, spin, denial. That is the National Party, Mr. Speaker. Out of touch, arrogant and out for their mates. Well, Mr. Speaker, New Zealand deserves better than that, and they are getting that from the Labor Party. And I am proud of our Best Start policy, because what it says is that investing in our children is the very best and most important thing that we can do. And from day one, through paid parental leave being extended to 26 weeks, through the $60 a week Best Start payment, we will be making sure that children get the best start in life. And we'll do it before birth as well. through provision of better antenatal checks, and we'll do it with Plunkett and others getting more involved in helping vulnerable children. And we'll do it by extending early childhood education. This side of the House is proud of our record on early childhood education. I want to acknowledge Trevor Mallard, who was the Minister of Education when the early childhood education strategy was put in place. This national government has let down young children. They've taken their eye off the ball in early childhood education. Labor will expand access, 25 free hours, and expanding access particularly in low-income areas, and improving the quality of early childhood education through returning to fully 100% qualified teachers. But, Mr Speaker, this hasn't come from nowhere. This comes from an evidence base. New Zealanders should be very grateful to all of the children born in 1972 in Dunedin who have become part of the longitudinal study, the best longitudinal study in the world, that gives us the evidence that says that making these interventions in the early years is the best thing that we can do. The expert group on child poverty, set up by that government, ignored by that government, said we must invest in children in the early years. They quoted the OECD, who said start with a universal payment and then move to more targeting as children get older. And that's what Labor has done, and that is what that government over there has ignored. But you can take all of the evidence in the world, or you can just look at practical examples. My granddaughter has come back to live in New Zealand from Australia, and she has had the opportunity of early access to early childhood education for free in Australia, and the difference it's made to her social skills, to her ability to communicate. She's got that good start in life. Every New Zealand child deserves that start in life, but this National Party would deny that to children in New Zealand. And here we have the criticism from National that somehow or other a universal payment's wrong. Well, are they arguing against national superannuation? No, they're not. So they deny to children what they will give to our seniors in terms of universality. And I must be getting a little bit old, because I'm starting to look back at the 1970s with some kind of nostalgic glow. Because in the 1970s, New Zealanders said, let's include people. Let's do things that all New Zealanders benefit from. Let's say that the community that's getting the same benefits will share those and see it as important for each other. Because part of universality is having a shared common experience. It's about saying we're all in this together. We'll all get the benefit of this. Raising kids is expensive. It puts pressure on the finances of all families. Why is this national government so determined to exclude people? Why do they want to stop people from getting a benefit that will actually help bring up children? But this government, Mr Speaker, has got principles that it wants to burn away. Sudden conversion to paid parental leave. Sudden conversion to teacher professional development, having cut the funding for that in 2 budgets earlier in their term. The National Party's talking about principles, but they're the ones that give you detention rather than the ones that might actually come from any kind of value base. Mr Speaker, the Best Start policy is just the beginning from this Labor Party. We know that along with providing for our children, we must develop a productive economy that delivers jobs. Not a speculator's economy, not one that works for property investors. The National Party like to call their rock star economy, Mr Speaker. Well, it's a bit more Cliff Richard than it is Lord. They need to get a modern, innovative economy, move from volume to value. Make sure those logs that sit there when I go down to the stadium don't go overseas unprocessed, but actually get added value in New Zealand where we can create jobs. Mr Speaker, the Labor Party is a party built on the idea that everyone gets a fair go, that we will make sure that there is opportunity for all people and give hope to all people. That starts with investing in our children. I am proud of our Best Start policy. That National Party has let children down. When Labor is elected into government later this year, we will be the party for the children of all New Zealanders.
Is anyone jumping up?
Green Party. Mr Speaker.
I call